This is gonna be an interesting one.
It was only 6 rounds. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, this will be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. So we have the Illusionist mirror, but we've got new school versus old school. We're gonna have Prism versus Dromai.
I'm actually excited to see this.
Who will come out on top?
And like when we say Dromai, like, we mean like this is a dragon list. Like 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 26 dragons.
I think that's normal. I've been looking at the Dromai lists. This feels like very much like about how many dragons they play normally.
Wow.
They play a lot.
I like it.
So I think this game, I think, is really going to come down to can Terry figure out the right amount of respect to give the dragons?
Yeah.
I think that could be what it comes down to.
I feel like in this matchup, though, if you had like Aura Prism versus Ally Dromai, I want to just instinctively say Prism's still in the better spot.
I think so. I think Prism's probably
just because her aura is being able to attack.
Yeah.
And even if the allies here attack, hit a Spectra, don't have the go again, like I feel like the tempo swing back is easier for Prism to accomplish.
Now the good thing is that it's very easy for you to pop auras in a way that doesn't feel bad as Dromai.
True.
Because you do just get to go dragon attack, dragon attack, dragon attack, dragon attack your aura, right?
Right.
So I think if you as the Prism player here, you do have to be smart about what you're allowing to stay on the table and what you're not.
Correct.
Because if you allow the dragons to get out of control a little bit, it's going to be very hard for you to keep those like important auras on the field.
I definitely agree. Yeah. So do you think the tug of war on this one will be who gets the better board state first and then start putting damage to the face?
I could honestly see this coming down to who goes first a little bit.
Okay.
Like, I think the interesting thing is that both of these decks do good going seconds.
Okay.
Because Silas is playing Helios Miter as his headpiece.
This kind of trigger.
So regardless of what Terry does on his turn, Silas can very likely make 2 ashes and then produce a dragon.
Okay.
But you know, if you're Prism going second, you can just play a highly impactful aura on your turn 0, right? So I think the first turn cycle will kind of set the tempo of what the rest of the game will look like.
I can just imagine turn 1, like they attack, you're like, sure, whatever. Arclight Sentinel, my turn, Genesis, into like...
I mean, it could snowball,
yeah.
But that's Prism. Prism can just snowball sometimes. But I think Dromai has similar snowball potential, just in a way that's like more manageable on average.
If you get to a point where you can drop a combination like a 0-drop ally and 1-drop ally, kind of build that board state. A lot of the 0-1s are pretty decent.
Yeah.
So.
And you get to play a lot of these like good red 1-for-3 attacks, like the Billowing Mirage.
I think Spears is in there as well.
Spears of Surreality. It's playing the Blood of Drakai, which is interesting.
He's going so heavy red.
Yeah. So.
How many attacks do you have to actually like really mitigate that cost?
I thought Blood was just the next 3 red cards, or next 3 Draconic cards cost.
Okay, it doesn't actually say attacks.
I don't think it's attacks. I think it's just Draconic cards.
Okay.
So.
That makes sense.
Oh, we got a reader. This is
it's the head.
this is a limited card.
Yeah. This is draft chat. Okay.
This card sucks. And then I just go make 2 ash, and you go, okay, well.
Nice.
I mean, that's basically what the card's text is. Red, resource, make 2 ash, destroy, instant.
I guess the good thing for Prism in this mirror match, like, it's going to be harder to actually pop.
Yep.
And everyone that hits goes into the soul.
Yep. Like this War Tune Herald.
Yeah. And they're all pretty strong enough to nuke every dragon, right? So.
Most of them, yeah. Gonna block that out. Here comes Phantasmaclasm, or
fractured
replication. Fractal replication? Fractal replication. 2 cards going in front of that as well. So Silas is gonna opt to not make 2 ash off of the Helios Smiter here, and instead just gonna cover up as much damage as possible from those heralds. Good grip there for Terry. It looks like at least 2 heralds and a soul shield, but we'll see what Silas gets up to here. Lots of ways to kind of just like produce ash on accident. Helios Smiter, playing cards, Flame Scale Furnace.
What's your thoughts on Flame Scale Furnace so far?
I think it is only playable in Dromai.
Okay, so completely useless in Fi?
I think it's something you'll play in Fi for 3 armor.
Okay.
It has 3 points of armor and sometimes will generate resources, but I think most of the time in Fi you do just want to be playing Tunic.
Okay.
But it's really good in Dromai because it allows you to make 2 resources from a red and make an ash.
Okay.
And is 3 points of armor. Okay,
like
so
you pitched 4 red cards.
Yeah, Silas opting to just pitch 4 reds, make 4 ash, and pass back.
It's pretty hot.
Here's a herald. It's a War Tune Herald. So I can get the clock fixed here. Close enough. They basically just started.
Yeah.
Alright, that's going to be a Tomatai and another Dragon on block. The thing about Dromai, I think people underrated, is the fact that all of the invokes block for 3. So Dromai is actually very effective at playing a defensive game.
Which is interesting, yeah.
Which I think is something that got kind of overlooked as people were looking at the spoilers, because a lot of the non-dragon draconic cards only block for 2.
Yeah.
But so I think that's an advantage that Dromai has, where she can play kind of defensive. Unlike Prism, she can play kind of defensive with her cards rather than like with auras, and fatigue you a little bit, and then just produce a big dragon and go big dragon mode.
That's very interesting for this play. Erudition. No real equipment that block. You got 3 potential blocking power. What's on the board?
Yeah, two in hands. Gotta put a card and the Flame Scale Furnace in front. I don't believe that Terry is running any pummels. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Don't question us, Chip.
It was a meme window. It happened.
Yeah. That was a thing for a while. But, Heralded Erudition not going to connect there. Card going in the arsenal. Same for Silas. Silas just going to arsenal that card and pass back. And I think this is like pretty normal from what we'll see from most Dromai players, is just, I'm fine with just blocking for a while until you run out of good attacks to make, and then I have a bunch of allies that you can't deal with.
Because you wasted your good attacks.
GG's,
yeah.
You know.
You went for my face, now here's the real threat.
Yeah, exactly.
forgot his token set. Looks like one stacks like the dragons.
Yeah, I'm not I think those are marvels.
Yeah.
I think those are just the marvels he has, and he's using checklists for the marvels specifically, maybe?
Gotcha. Oh, come on, damage the $40 cards. It'll be fun. I forgot what they're discussing right now.
I think they're just trying to make sure that the game's... I think Terry probably just has some like questions, because new deck, new hero,
Right.
might not fully understand all of the interactions of what your opponent is doing. And it's always good to get that information where you can from your opponent. You know, just the public information that things that you might not fully understand yet.
Yeah.
All right, Parable going in the pitch. We do have at least one War Tune in hand. And
Herald of Judgment.
Judgment, okay. Yeah, again, I would not be surprised to just see Silas put 2 cards in front of this and just be perfectly fine with that.
Does Judgment come in for 6?
I want to say Judgment is 7, but
7? Okay.
I mean, even if you just take 1, right?
Yeah.
You don't really care about Prism building up a big soul for the most part. All right, just gonna put 1 card in front and take 4. I think that's fine. 3. Okay, so it is 6.
Okay.
And just a pass? Is that I believe that's a pass from Terry.
No, I think this goes into your soul naturally when it hits.
Oh,
That's yeah.
Attack for 1. We thought it through. Yeah. The reason Prisms wants to sequence it in this matter is because they want to make sure that they can still make that attack for 1 without having to worry about Phantasmal Footsteps, paying into Phantasmal Footsteps.
Right.
It's always good to go lead on a Herald, attack with all your auras, and with a
finish up with
Herald.
Herald.
Yeah, that's kind of the sequencing you'll see for most of the time. Silas gonna elect to not block with any more cards this turn, which does mean I assume that we're gonna see
board presence
1 to 2
soon.
dragons this turn.
Or it's one of those like heavy chains of just.
Yeah, I think we could see a rake. A red rake could be coming this turn. A big dragon could be coming this turn. I assume Silas has something pretty reasonable here to.
Conservative so far, so you would expect.
Rabble Rouse. Yep. That's going to be a red on top, so it's coming in for 4. I believe that was a sync blow on top, so that's an important thing to note if you are Terry here.
Back it up, Terry.
Alright, Soul Shield going to cover up the Rabble Rousing nicely. And it's going to be a Rake the Embers, yeah. This is a real good one here for Silas, especially in this matchup, because I do think this is something you kind of want to be doing after your opponent has set up a lot of auras, but it does mean that a lot of those 1 poke with auras are likely to be going at your dragons. And this is a Dunebreaker Senpai.
I'm glad you knew the name of it. I didn't.
So that's coming in for 8. I'm a little surprised to see the Dunebreaker coming in. I don't remember if Dunebreaker is the one with Go Again. Yeah, Ember Ma is the one without Go Again. So Dunebreaker Senpai comes in for 5 with Go Again. So we're going to have 5 with Go Again. If Terry has a way to destroy that, it will still produce an Ash, but if he does not, then that's going to be 3 additional attacks for 1 with the Sandwing Elementals.
I think all Terry has is 3 Command and Conquer, and then 1 Fendal's Fighting Spirit.
Okay, so only 4 poppers in the deck for Terry if he elected to bring them in. Maybe he thought they weren't super necessary for the matchup. Alright, Spectral Shield and the Herald will get in the way of the Dunebreaker. And then 3 attacks for 1 with the small little dragons. And a pass back. So we'll see if Terry remembers that the sync blow is hanging around. It's going to be Herald of Protection, I believe. Coming across.
Terry just holding that pin.
Block for 3. Sync below. Put this card away. I don't need this.
Energy potion is in there. Okay, yeah. So Silas has energy potion in hand.
I like the energy potion, considering your deck plays a lot of reds, right?
Yeah.
It is just a way to like mitigate some of your reds in a spot where you might get choked up on a resources otherwise. All right, here's another Doombreaker. Coming across for 5. No poppers in hand for Terry. Oh no, there is a popper in. Silas says, "What you got? Show it to me. Show it to me, Terry. You don't have a Terry." But yeah, he does have a Cataclysm in hand, which does actually pop. Because that's not an illusionist attack, it's a light attack.
You're right.
So we'll see if Terry wants to use it here. But even then, even if it's popped, that's an Ash for Silas, and there's the Phantasmal Footsteps to activate and still get those attacks in with all the smaller dragons.
What's the clause for the Ashley Staff go again?
You have to play a red card.
Okay.
Okay. Coming in for 3 instances of 1. Gotta take it. All right. The other thing is here, so Terry is not playing.
Oh, he's leading with the Cataclysm. Okay.
Interesting. So the interesting thing here is Terry is not playing Spectral, the card that just makes 3 Spectral Shields, right?
Right.
So he does not have a clean way
Prismatic
to clean.
Shield?
Prismatic Shield.
Okay, yeah.
He does not have a clean way to clean up a lot of these small dragons effectively.
Not in a pinch.
Not in a pinch.
Yeah.
So those dragons are going to be around
They're
for
gonna
a
add
while.
up.
Yeah. Like if we see another red rake, or even a yellow rake out of Silas, that could be a really tough spot for Terry to be put in. All right, so we have 2 cards coming in front of the Cataclysm. Going to be a War-Tune Herald that's also going to soak up 2 cards.
Is that Rake Embers?
Yeah, that's a rake. I see a Sink Below. I don't know what those other 2 cards are.
What was the dragon?
Yeah. So Silas only taking 1 damage.
So is that a full block? Makes a shield attacks. Okay.
1 dragon down, and then 1 dragon back. That'll pop the shield, presumably, if Terry doesn't want to block here. It doesn't seem like he does. I think there's actually an argument to be made to block, keep the shield, and just go and poke the other 2 dragons down.
Yeah. Your board state.
Because I think if this game does go long, it will come down to board state.
And it's always easier to make the Ashlings, in my opinion, than it is to make the Spectral Shields.
For sure.
So we've gone, what, 3 turns now with no new Ash?
Right, yeah. Alright, so we're lining up, we're considering a block here. Looks like there's 2 cards that Terry feels like he can do without. One of them is that Cataclysm, so that's a card that's probably not going to be relevant for a while. Nope, just gonna elect to let the shield go. Alright, here is a Miraging Metamorph. I believe that comes in for 8, so we'll see how much of this Silas wants to cover up. Just gonna be 1 coming in front, so 5 coming across here from Terry. Silas down to 22. Let's see what the follow-up is. There is a Fractured Reality, or what was that card?
Shimmers?
Says Shimmers is silver.
Shimmer's being pitched. Herald of Judgment again.
Okay. I think this is probably going to be 2 cards from Silas. I have to imagine. Or maybe Silas has a good pivot turn here, so we'll see. Looks like it's just going to be one card and taking 4.
Poor dragon.
They're only good for blocking.
Yeah.
You don't need to play them.
Yeah. If you don't have any Ash, I guess I got one poor sad little Ash.
And, oh man, and a third Herald.
Protection.
Herald of Protection, yeah. The triple Herald turn, pretty devastating here from Terry. But not going to have an arsenal, so if I'm Silas, at least I know the odds of having another triple Herald turn are pretty close to 0, so...
Playing another Ashling?
Yep, Ashling down. And Terry looking at a pretty commanding spot right now.
Okay,
And a popper here, so that's a big... It's going to be a Bludgeokai pitched for a...
Spears of
Cereal, yeah. Gonna get popped with a Command and Conquer. And Silas not having any other resources, so not gonna get to do anything
he didn't
else.
make his Ash.
And he missed the trigger on making his Ash, so that could end up being problematic at some point if there's a turn with like a Rake and just not being able to produce a full 3 dragons, and the Spectral Shield's gonna get to clean up the last Ashling this turn. War Tune, 2 blocks, 2 damage. So I'm assuming one of those is 2 block, 2 come across. Spectral Shield going face, very interesting. Terry clearly thinks he is in a spot where he needs to be playing aggressively. I imagine we're gonna see a Prism activation to make another Spectral Shield.
To kill the ally.
Spectral Shield will probably come at the Ashling.
Yeah.
That it does.
Oh, but that one's not foil.
Alright, well, Silas was able to keep 2 cards here. It's gonna be
our first dragon. That's
lightning. This one deals arcane damage, so I think this is the one that deals 1 arcane damage to any 2 targets when it attacks. So that means that we're gonna see an attack.
Can I see that, Marvel? That's sexy.
Seems a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
just slapping around his sleeve. I know you put this card in a hard case because it's worth a lot of money.
I'm gonna shake it like a baby.
What if I rattled it around?
I hope it's double sleeved.
So the one instance of the arcane damage will pop one of those shields first, and then Terry will get an opportunity to block. So he is running the Null Room gloves, so he can opt to
save the shields.
Yeah, it does look like they're talking to a judge to see if Silas is allowed to just... I wonder if they're trying to figure out if Silas is allowed to just target the shields. I think that's the question going on right now.
Yes, they are. I just...
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, because you can't target the shields because they're not allies. They're just auras.
Huh.
So it looks like we're just gonna pull up the rules on this one. I'm pretty sure the answer is no, you cannot target the Spectral Shields. Even though I'm sure you very much would like to in this situation.
Yeah, because they don't have life.
They're just not targetable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can only
unless he has something that destroys auras.
Yeah, you can only throw the 1 arcane damage at Prism, and then try to use that to pop a shield. Terry just gonna let the Spectral Shields go though. I'm kind of surprised on that one. He's gonna take the 1 physical damage. I think that dragon has 4 health, so that's not a super easy barrier to cross with just auras. That is something you're probably gonna have to throw a Herald at if you want to get rid of. Does look like...
Oh, on hit effect, draw 2.
Oh, and the Herald of Erudition! Oh my gosh. That could be trouble for Silas. Here's a War Tune Herald. That is far and away the biggest downside you have to consider when you're playing Dromai, is when you deploy these dragons, you are just putting yourself at the mercy of these, what could be devastating on hit effects for your opponent. And Herald of Your Edition, I gotta say, is probably the scariest one you could have seen there.
I'm talking about dealing with an ally. Oh man, that's great.
Command
I'm gonna
and
kill your
conquer.
arsenals, and I have no hands.
I imagine we're gonna see 2 cards go in front of this as well. Unless one of those cards blocks for 2, and then we'll probably just see just the 1. Okay, we're gonna... Flamescale Furnace will be going away. And we're going to pay into the Quell on Silken Robe thing, the arm thing. And we're gonna throw away our Phantasmal Footsteps. Wow, alright. Whatever this card is in Arsenal, Silas must think is very important here.
This is 1 card arsenal, 1 card in hands? No.
Yeah.
No, there's no cards
Just
in hands.
no, just one. Yeah, I just said just the 1 card in the arsenal here. And Silas now completely out of equipment. Just a draw up. We're back over to Terry. The boots go away because the boots blocked an attack with 6 or more physical attack. So that does mean the boots will break. Alright, so we're going to banish a card from our soul with Prism. And we're going to play a Herald of Protection. It doesn't look like Terry had a yellow card to pitch there, so this doesn't have go again. Silas might be interested in just taking this damage and trying to pivot even just a little bit if he can. He's definitely thinking on it. It's gonna be a sink blow. That's more or less a free block anyways, so we'll take 1. That's a soul and a shield. Now the problem is Silas doesn't have any ash, so even
It's running uphill, yeah.
Yeah, even if he has a dragon to produce here, he's gonna need to find a way to make an ash before anything can come into play. Here's a Spears is Seriality. Oh, or not. We're thinking about it.
If we're being honest, technically there is 1 ash there, missed the trigger, but
yeah, he should have 1 ash, but that is a trigger you can miss. It's not a part of the resolution of a card. Alright, so it is going to be Spears of Surreality pitching away a red Rake the Embers.
still not making an ash.
Still... Silas, please. Oh no. It could be the camera nerves. I'll chalk it up to a little bit of camera nerves. Even at a small event like this, sometimes just being on camera makes a big difference. Alright, so we're going to banish a card from Soul. We're going to make another Spectral Shield. We'll take a little bit of damage from the Spears, but not much. I think just 2. Okay, now we're representing our Ash. And here's I think that's Dromai.
Yep. I know that one's name.
That one attacks for 3 and has 2 health and makes an action point when it attacks. Or dies. Attack for 3. What you got, Terry? We're thinking about blocking. I'm a little surprised by that. Silas is a 10. Alright, gonna soak up some damage there. So 2... No, he just took the 3.
There's a counter on the Nolrin gloves.
I don't know why.
Nice dice. Okay.
Oh boy, Phantasmaclasm. That's coming in for 8, right? No, Miraging Metaphor.
Yeah, yeah.
Still coming in for 8.
Yeah.
But
That'd be enough.
just a different kind of 8. deep in the tank, or Silas deep in the tank. How many cards do you want to put in front of us? 2, 3? I imagine at this point you just want to cover this up as much as you can.
Yeah, once you're at 25% or less health, like, every turn matters. Is that hand's going to pivot this back around to get tempo on the Prism? This is an uphill battle, and it's been for the last 4
Again,
turns.
you know, it isn't all downside here, right? Terry's in a position where he's going to start ignoring the allies, so that Dromai is going to stick around for a while. Blocks with the Oiva, however it's pronounced. Oiva? Oiva. Ouvia. One of those.
Sounds like something else.
Yeah.
It's the Ouija dragon.
The Luigi board. The Luigi. Okay, so here's a sweeping blow. That's going to make an Ash when it attacks, and he's going to make an Ash off of the... Or is that a lead the charge that's pitched? Is he playing
Lead the charge red, yeah.
Red lead the charge. Wow, okay. I like it. Okay, so he'll make a... Okay. See, this is where things can start to get scary if you're Terry. Silas just has a couple of allies. Silas is just going to be able to block your big heralds and try to mitigate as much damage and just attack you with 2 dragons every turn. And one of these dragons draws a card if it hits, because you're not playing any items.
Oh, so good. So Mechanologist comes back.
Alright, so attack for 3. 3 was taken. Now it's coming in for 4. Terry's got to think about this one. That card draw, even though it's likely to just be a card placed in the arsenal, could be a big deal, because if Silas finds one of his 0-cost reds with Go again, that's a lot. And opts to block with a Tunic there. Obviously, not thinking he's going to need it for the rest of this game. Silas is at 6, you know, that's only probably two. If you can present 2 attacks most turn, that's enough. And here's another Miraging Metamorph coming in for 7.
It's like being attacked by a Guardian, but a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper.
A lot cheaper and with Go
So
again.
mean. Oh.
And if you break it, they get copy in a row.
Yeah, so fair.
Alright, 2 cards coming down for Silas. Gonna take 1. And Fractured Replication. So 2 cards coming down from Silas, I imagine, taking 1. And again, this is fine. If you're Silas, this is fine, because at worst here, you're still gonna get to go attack you for 4. If you don't block this out, I'm gonna draw cards, and then I'm gonna have an arsenal at the end of my turn. So this is kind of the situation. I don't know. I'll just guess.
Oh, okay, no, because you told it through the loop. I was like, what?
I don't know. They're probably both 3 and 2. I don't know.
They're pretty decent.
Who cares? Is that a fractal on the stack?
Yeah,
Shit anymore.
Oh, and this is Spears of Surreality to end up the turn. So
Oh.
Every time I see fractal, like on the chain link, I get so excited for some reason. I was like, oh, some shenanigans happened there.
Oh, it hurts.
Silas coming in for 4. Block it.
Oh, killed it. He kills it. Wait, he killed both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Dromai alive. Did he attack with both?
He's at the Cataclysm.
I don't think he was supposed to attack with both if he did. I can't tell.
If you didn't play a red card, you're gonna attack with 1, right?
Yeah. Your dragons don't have Go unless you play red card.
Yeah.
Are they counting dex rise?
Yeah.
I'm kind of...
He's like, I'm gonna fatigue you, boy.
I don't... I respect it. I mean, there is a world where this game goes to fatigue. I don't think we're living in it, but you know,
No.
crazier things have happened.
I agree.
Those dragons do block pretty well. So.
They do, but this is a
I can
red.
see it.
This is a red herald of protection with Go again. Take 1. Soul. Spectral shield. Attack you for 2 with Shimmers of Silver.
There we go.
Attack you for 1. Oh, or second shimmers a silver. I guess that was only a yellow herald. It looks like a red though. Hard to say.
Oh, there's the soul shield. Yeah, if we can build this soul back up and have a cataclysm ready to go in like 3 or 4 turns, I think that'll be enough to close this
Probably.
out.
Most likely. Oh no, he can attack with both because the Chromite gives him an action point.
Oh,
So that's why you got to attack with both last turn cycle.
Reading the card explains the card.
There's like 50 dragons
There's
and
so
they all
many
do
abilities.
very different things. I can't remember. I literally
can't
can't
either.
remember anymore.
I'm glad you put that 2 and 2 together for me.
All right, so here comes a rabble rouse in for 4. Terry's just gonna take the 4. 3 with Chromai. Terry takes 3.
It's actually a very brilliant enabler for your dragons.
It is.
That's amazing.
It's like that one and the one that makes your first attack lose Phantasm. First
Yeah.
dragon attack lose Phantasm.
Yeah.
If those 2 cards didn't exist, I think Dromai would be a lot
be a sad
worse
spot.
place.
Oh,
Here's a
there's the
herald.
protection dragon.
Here's a herald. Block your herald. Here's oh my gosh, it's the last fractal too. Oh
Oh,
man.
another fractal?
So not only did he had herald and fractal, and he had 2 shimmers of silver, which would both be attacking for 2. So I think any way you cut it, Silas is pretty out of that game, unfortunately.
I would really enjoy if they made a bot out of this, like a YouTube.
They do. They have a YouTube channel.
Who do what? You need to get one. It's got like 4 videos.
Those are good 4 videos. I've watched them all actually.
I love my horrible thumbnails. It's my favorite part.
I actually have sat down and watched all 4 of your videos.
I think I have 6. I'm not positive.
I don't know. All I know is that I
Yeah.
have actually watched them. I was like, good videos, good videos.
All right, I think we're just gonna, I'm gonna vote. We just throw it a break here.
Yeah.